Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. We're doing a surprise stream.
Do it live!
Because about an hour ago, we got word that the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard verdict has been decided, and it will be announced publicly within the next 15 minutes or so. So I decided to throw some clothes on and do this surprise stream. Billy isn't here. Billy probably isn't even awake right now. It's before noon in U.S. Pacific time zone. So it's just me by myself. Give the stream a like. We are going to watch the verdict come in. I have a poll up. What will the verdict be? I have Depp wins, Heard wins, or neither win, which basically means Depp doesn't win his lawsuit, Heard doesn't win her countersuit. It's just a wash, which I think, in my opinion, as much as I want Johnny Depp to win because I believe he is the abuse victim here and Amber Heard is lying, the way I think about the way this trial played out and the jury and everything, I'm thinking neither of them win. In my opinion, neither win is my pick out of the three options in the current poll. But you vote, share your opinions in the chat, and we will all sit and watch together. By the way, if you notice my speech being off, I'm still wearing these clear braces. I'm getting used to them, but it's weird. I had to kind of learn how to talk all over again. I am going to check in on the live feed from the court. Looks like nothing yet. There's still the channel that I watch for updates on the case. They're playing old footage from the trial while they're waiting for the jury to come out into the courtroom, and then the one representative will announce the verdict that they reached. It had to be unanimous. 7 jurors reaching a verdict, unanimous. It didn't take them very long, too. And a lot of that court fatigue sets in. Like, a lot of them are tired of being there, and they didn't want a mistrial. If they couldn't reach a verdict, there would have been a mistrial. Yeah, I'm not a fan. People that weaponize victimhood to get revenge on people because their relationship ended, beyond the pale. It does a disservice to actual victims. It does a disservice to innocent people. And in my opinion, that says a lot. Years later, using the court of public opinion to ruin someone's reputation is beyond the pale. Give the stream a like, and Streamlabs is open, but this isn't a normal show. I don't expect a lot to come in, but if you feel like sending some in or super chats with your thoughts, obviously those get priority. Johnny gets to keep the grumpy. Did he keep the grumpy? I think the grumpy was gone by the time he actually got home. We're talking about the turd in his bed. Someone else took a picture of it and sent it to him. I'm guessing someone cleaned it up before he got home. As far as I know, the jury is deciding what percentage of the lawsuit to award the winner as well. I could be wrong about that. Man, I am tired. I am very tired right now. But I'm excited because I've been waiting. I've been waiting to see how this plays out. No matter how it plays out, this is a civil case. And it's murky water for the jury because they have to decide what they mean by abuse. Are they going to take Amber Heard's thing where, like, well, he was verbally abusive to her, therefore he did abuse her, therefore no defamation?
Believe WMN.
Huh? Or are they going to be like, no, her op-ed that she wrote was about physical and sexual abuse, and there's no proof of that. In fact, she was physically abusive to him, and there's no proof that he was physically abusive to her. I don't know how this is going to go. I do think it's kind of weird, the verbally abusive thing. Like, I think we've all been guilty of verbally abusing someone in the past. Like, and I don't know if that's grounds for an abuse lawsuit, right? It's not illegal to say mean things to someone. It can be wrong, but it's not a crime. So we shall see what the jury thinks. Man, I am having allergies too. I don't, usually in the summertime my allergies act up, but I got this new nose spray that was keeping my allergies at bay for a long time. But today, something's in the air that I'm allergic to, and it's running wild right now. I'm pretty sure we've all had our moments where we said mean things that could be considered verbally abusive. What matters in those situations is
even though there was physical / verbal / emotional stuff from both sides, Johnny has gone to the effort to better himself and admits to things that occurred. Amber refuses to believe that it even happened.
Yeah,
also, have some money since I got paid.
Thank you. Yeah, there's so many things that Amber Heard said while testifying that were verifiably untrue. And I find it hard to believe she was just wrong and wasn't willfully lying about them. Little things, too, that had nothing to do with the trial. Like the pledge / donation thing. Or the writing on the mirrors. There were two completely different types of writing on the mirrors, writing back and forth to each other, having a conversation. Amber claims the girly writing that looks like it comes from a woman isn't her. Johnny Depp was using two different types of writing, having an argument with himself in writing. I mean, that's ridiculous. The feed will be up as soon as the jury comes out. So right now, they're just playing old clips from the trial, and I'm not just going to restream their coverage. I mean, I'm using the Law and Crime channel stream. Also, from what I've heard, it doesn't appear that Johnny Depp or Amber Heard are going to be in court when the verdict is read. I think Johnny Depp is on a tour with Jeff Beck in the UK right now. Jeff Beck, for those of you who don't know, he's one of the greatest rock guitar players ever. He's phenomenal. So that's really cool. Johnny Depp is sharing the stage with Jeff Beck. I'm a huge fan. He was in a band called the Yardbirds back in the day. Legendary band. Big fan. Yeah, I saw Amber Heard's girlfriend signal boosting Johnny Depp's location and suggesting that he wasn't canceled because he's playing concerts right now. Cancellation doesn't mean you're dead and never heard from again. Cancellation means, public perception of you has changed to a degree where you get fired from your job or you lose something else important in your life. It doesn't mean you're totally ruined forever, Whoa, I got a $50 super chat. Will you start dating Amber Heard after the trial? I think you and her would make a cute couple. You could become Ben Heard. Word. Oh, it wasn't even $50. It's Denmark money. Oh, well. No. First of all, no. No, that will not. I mean, that was obviously a joke, but I shudder at even the suggestion of that. I shudder. But thank you for your 50, what are they? Kroners. I don't even know what they are. I think they're Denmark money. You Scandinavians can't just use the euro? I have suffered enough. I'm not going to suffer and die like Jesse Lee Peterson told Billy to. So we got 5 minutes. I'm going to pull up this feed from the Law and Crime channel.
Corbanics, Law and Crime analyst, joining us, as well as Nima Rahmani.
All right.
Okay, I take it back. It's a little chaotic with the helicopters going above. Okay, Nima Rahmani is still with us. We had an interesting question earlier, which I think is good to remind viewers
that sounds like a very Persian name.
Which is, are there any restrictions on the jurors after this case is done, after they deliver their verdict and the judgment? Can they write a book? Can they sell their notes? Someone said. Are there any restrictions on the jury?
Someone pointed out to me that Amber Heard would only date someone with money anyway, which I don't have enough.
On that. The only thing they can't do is with the notes. They will not get their note backs, okay? They will not get their notes back.
And if someone threw a bottle at me and cut off my finger, I would be very tempted to pick up a bigger bottle and throw it at their head.
And therefore sell maybe
just
those
saying.
Recollections. But with regard to anything else, they can talk freely. They have a First Amendment right to talk freely. All that can happen is you
No,
can't
I do not have enough
as a
money
lawyer,
to date a Hollywood
you can't go
actress.
And harass them. No one should be harassing a jury anyhow. But they're free to talk and they're free to publish.
Okay, so, you know, and some very well might. This is a very high-profile
Is
case
Amber
where there's
over?
been a lot of interest.
Oh, no.
I mean, right now,
I think this is,
we've got about 1.5
this
million
is like
of you
stock
tuning
footage
into
here or
our
something,
YouTube
right?
channel. So thank you for sticking with Law and Crime for this. And for
It looks like Amber Heard is over there. I don't know if this is old footage that they're running or if this is live in the courtroom.
Where everyone is assembled just about
I don't see Johnny Depp.
3 o'clock when we expect to see the judge come in.
Everyone, please like the stream and share your thoughts and opinions on what's going on here.
We know there are a bunch of
Amber Heard turned me into a newt. Throw her into the pond.
How long do you think this will take?
Oh, is that like a? You're implying this is a witch hunt? Because the witch, I mean, Me Too is the new witch hunt. Like back in the day, if you didn't like someone enough and you could convince enough people into at least lying and saying that they were a witch or a wizard or a warlock, you could have them burned at the stake. And that's what this is. Like, instead of due process, you convince enough people that some dude is abusive or worse, and that's what happens. He's burned at the stake of the court of public opinion.
And just to remind our viewers what we expect to happen here, if this just takes 10 to 15 minutes, the jurors, once they're led back in the jury room, they'll later be dismissed, but we expect the legal teams for both sides will come out and give some remarks. Other players in this as well. Unclear whether anyone will hear anything from Amber Heard immediately after this. And by the way, if you look on the screen, she is seated there.
Yeah, Amber Heard is there. I thought both of them weren't going to be there, but only Johnny Depp didn't show up. He doesn't have to. His time is more valuable than Amber Heard's time.
Hearing it for the first time when we do as well. Janine, do you want to take that one? Okay.
No, Depp is not here. Depp is doing a musical tour right now with Jeff Beck in the UK. Am I smoking? It's kind of early, but I have one twisted up here that I'm probably going to do.
Nima, please take it, Nima. Guys, I'm out here in our Studio A. It's hot, it's humid. I can't see all of you in the monitor, so Nima, please, will the jury hear,
Yes, people that come up with false accusations and the people who blindly support them do a greater disservice for actual victims than anyone else. Healthy skepticism is not as much of a disservice as the people who make the fake accusations and the people who just believe it because they have a bias or they think it's entertaining to publicly come at somebody. I don't like Amber either, but some of the comments from Johnny fans on the different court videos are so cringy. Yeah, I mean, like, fans on both sides are going to be cringy. That's just how it is. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm not going to hold either of them accountable for what their fans do.
after doing a series of surprise performances with
when you get a large enough fan base, like a Hollywood A-list actor level fan base, large fan bases always have a good amount of toxic people. That's just how it is. Billy is more than likely sleeping right now. I wasn't going to bother him because, we didn't know the verdict was reached until a few minutes ago, or an hour ago or so. And I was just like, hey, I'm going to hop online and do this.
All right, are we ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Just for everybody in the gallery, reminder that this is a court of law.
And by the way, I do...
Regardless of the verdict,
Oh, here we go. I think it's go time.
Okay, thank you.
Here we go. The judge just said no outbursts, regardless of the verdict. Don't outburst. Amber is so greedy, Johnny gave her a finger. She wanted the whole hand. Is Billy standing outside the courthouse? No, Billy does not wake up this early. Hey, dude, watch for the UK. Always love the show. Can't wait to hear the verdict. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the super chats, guys. Here it comes, though. We're ready. I feel like I'm going up the hill of a roller coaster, and it's about to... God, there's so many. Someone else said off topic, but found a pack of Delirium Red out in my area. Picked it up because of your recommendations. Now one of my favorite beers. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's good.
Just like the Memphis 3 in 1993.
Yes!
Innocent till proven guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty. We don't do that anymore. We're like, oh, there's an accusation. They're guilty unless they have enough money to sue the person who accused them, and then we'll see if they're innocent. It's like, that's not how it works, people. If this is the mentality that we're approaching everything, I'm sad for the future of humanity.
If I could have the attorneys approach me.
I really appreciate that. Okay, so the attorneys are approaching the bench. We'll see what comes next here. Amber doesn't have anyone's outfit to mimic today, so that's refreshing. She dressed like Kim Jong-un. She had an outfit that was like the spitting image of the weird, like, Kim Jong-un outfit that he always wears. I think Mao Zedong dressed similar too, so it's like an Asian dictator drip that they got going on.
All right, again, you're looking live.
People are saying she's beautiful. Yeah, okay. I mean, she's not everyone's cup of tea, but I would say she is objectively beautiful.
I need to give the forms back to you.
Oh, the echo. Whoever the sound guy for the trial is, they keep capturing the echo. I would not deny that Amber Heard is a beautiful woman.
At least $1 for compensatory damages and up to whatever you feel the damages should be.
Oh, God. So the audio is laggy right now.
Back to the
okay
operation room and do that for me, okay?
Oh, so the jury's gonna figure out, okay. After they do the verdict, then they have to figure out what the damages are, if any. Yeah, you don't become like a Hollywood actress.
All right, so we'll be in recess till we hear back from them. Don't go too far.
Okay, so... So now the jury is going back and the court is going to be in recess. So we will keep an eye on this. We're not going to get the verdict right now. They got to go deliberate on some more stuff. So we're waiting. We're playing the waiting game. Keep those votes coming. Keep your opinions coming. Keep the super chats and Streamlabs coming. Oh, if you know what I mean. I'm not used to streaming this early. We got a whole different crowd here. I think we got some of our European viewers and maybe our East Coast viewers that, maybe have to wake up early and they go to bed earlier and they don't normally catch the show that we do because we do it kind of, in the evening in Pacific time. Amber is the girl you imagine is in the top right corner of the crazy hot scale. Yeah, she seems crazy based on the evidence I saw. That's all I can say. I don't know her personally. She seems wacky. She seems like a girl who has lived a privileged life in many ways, like even before she became a famous actress. And she's used to getting her way. She's used to people reacting to her anger by cowering and submitting to her. That's my perception based on what I've seen here. She's a bed pooper, allegedly. I mean, it seems like she did. See, I feel weird taking an absolute stance on things that I'm not 100% sure of. I'm inclined to believe, but I don't like to speak in absolutes unless I'm absolutely sure. Regardless of the verdict, Depp wins public opinion. I agree. He already has. Part of this trial was just putting on public record all of this evidence that she's crazy and she wasn't this innocent angel that she tried to make herself out to be. It was also put out there that she didn't actually donate hardly any of her divorce settlement to the charitable organizations that she claims she did. So it's a win for Depp because this is going to be on the record forever. Everything that wasn't like redacted or stricken from the record is going to be there forever for people to look at. All of this video footage, everything. So that's a win for Depp no matter what. And you know, this kind of stuff happens all the time, and not everyone has Johnny Depp money to sue and make this happen. You know? The first... Oh, look, we got a crap latte. First time live dono from me, and you're right about the European viewers. Austria here. I don't see how Amber has a chance here. Johnny's got this. He's got it in some ways already. It's a jury trial, and I don't know how the jury will vote on this. Every time there's honestly, this should have been reported to the authorities, and Johnny Depp, if there was enough evidence, Johnny Depp should have been investigated and tried criminally, and then we would have had an actual not guilty verdict. And that would, or guilty, depending on what they found. But we have to do this weird thing now where, like, years after the alleged stuff happened, they make accusations, and there's no way. The statute of limitations for a criminal trial is over. Most of the evidence that would have existed at the time is gone, and then it's like on the onus is on the accused to prove a negative rather than the burden of proof being on the accuser. It's totally backwards. But trials like this remind me of when I was a kid and I read To Kill a Mockingbird. For those of you who have read To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the main characters, Atticus Finch, is a lawyer, and he defends a black man at a time, like just after slavery ended in the South, who's accused of raping a white woman. And there's a big part of that book where there's the trial where Atticus Finch basically proves to the jury that this guy didn't do what he was accused of. So when I think of things like this, I always kind of think back to that. That was my first, as a kid, kind of idea of how courts worked, and how the whole like objection, overruled, sustained thing worked. I still don't always understand, like, I'm not a trained lawyer, obviously. So when they're like hearsay or leading or that, I don't fully understand when it's leading when I hear it. I've heard a lot of places have banned To Kill a Mockingbird because it has the N-word in it. But honestly, it's not a racist book. It kind of points out the racial injustice that happened in the South at the time, post-Civil War, and how I mean, just the trial itself shows. I think it's a pretty powerful book. It's considered one of the best books in American literature. And it's weird because Harper Lee didn't write another book until like a year before she died. I think it was like 2017. She finally put out her second book. I think if any book was written in like just after, like, I don't think books should be sanitized to create a different view of how history was. White people said the N-word a lot more and in a disparaging way in the South, hundreds of, like 100 years ago. It's not good, but we shouldn't pretend like it didn't happen. We should remember that it happened and look at it and realize that was wrong. You got to remember history or you're doomed to repeat it, right? Isn't that the famous saying? Have some sex. God, I'm getting all the Scandinavian money today. The South did things to black people equals CRT? Does it? Is that all it is? Because I'm pretty sure there's like photos of slaves being whipped and stuff. It's kind of irrefutable. I grew up in the North, like in northern Ohio, and we have a whole bunch of sites from the Underground Railroad because Ohio was a big abolitionist state, and they would help slaves escape slavery in the South, and they would hide them out till they could get them over the Canadian border. There's a little museum/house that was a big stop in the Underground Railroad. It's called the Walcott House, and it's in Maumee, Ohio.
I thought she was a bad actress before, but after watching her performances testifying, I think I might have even overrated her.
She's not the world's greatest actress, and I believe a lot of her roles were given to her based on her looks and also her connections, who she was married to. It is doubtful she would have gotten the Aquaman role if she wasn't married to Johnny Depp. Let's see. We got, longtime viewer, and I don't get to catch the stream live often. I just wanted to also say I'm a fan of the content. Keep it up. Also, the hate Amber team gets for doing their job is what I meant by cringe. And I mean, somebody's got to represent somebody in court. Like, you have a right to representation. I mean, everyone, no matter how horrible the crime is that they're accused of, has the right to representation. It's constitutional. There are attorneys that have to represent murderers or people who are accused of murder that are likely guilty, molesters, so should we go after them? So I don't agree. Yeah, I can laugh at the poor job I think they did, but I don't have a personal vendetta against her lawyers. She had to get lawyers. I think part of their shitty job in advocating for her is they didn't have much to work with. They really didn't have a lot to work with. And then they had a whole bunch of lies. They know when she's lying. They have to pretend not to know because in good conscience, an attorney can't instruct their client to lie. But if they think she's lying, they can pretend not to know. And if it can't be proven, then it can't be proven. Her lawyer, yeah, you go back and look at any moment in this trial and look at the looks on the faces of the people who are getting paid to be there versus Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, who are paying unbelievable amounts of money to be there. You know, it's, you know, Depp's lawyers making hundreds, if not over $1,000 an hour, each one. All the expert witnesses, they're all getting paid to be there. They're all making mad bank off of this. They look fine. It just sucks to go in there, waste all your time, spend all this money, and you're just sitting there. It's boring. Yeah, I'm streaming right now. Give us a like. We got a good turnout this morning for like a surprise stream on a day when we never stream on this channel. We almost never stream on Wednesdays on this channel. Looks like we're back in the courtroom, though. Let's see. We might be getting the verdict now. I mean, it just turned afternoon for me. Time zones exist, and I live on the west coast of the United States. So, yes, it was morning until like 16 minutes ago for me. What, you had another super chat? They're going away too fast. Sometimes I'll get a bunch of them at once, too. Let me see if I can find it through Streamlabs here. Harper Lee vowed to never release a book. Sister who had conservatorship died. Lawyer basically forced the book through while Harper Lee was 97. It was elder abuse. I didn't know that. That's terrible. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't know that. I knew she was like crazy old, and I was like, why did she wait this long to finally put out another book? Because I had heard she always kind of had almost like imposter syndrome. Like she couldn't believe she wrote a literary classic on her first attempt and was afraid that she could never duplicate the magic. You know, which it's a lot to live up to. I don't know why the feed is so laggy here, but the courtroom feed is very laggy. You can see the Law and Crime logo. Oh, here comes the jury. We might be getting the verdict now. Everyone get your votes in and let me know what you're thinking. I've never read the second book, so I don't know much about it. I just know it came out like 2017, and I was really surprised. Oh, by the way, thanks, YouTube, for already giving me a yellow dollar sign, even though I haven't done anything, like literally nothing. There's all kinds of news organizations running ads on this right now, so this is not something that's not advertiser-friendly. YouTube's trash. And by the way, if I missed your super chats, I'll go back and read them. I'm sorry. There was a bunch that came in all at once, and I'll go through them and see which ones I missed after the verdict is read here. Oh, yeah, the judge warned them to stay quiet. Lady Elaine. Hi, Lady Elaine. Hi. Oh, no, you cut my hand off.
All right, Mr. Foreperson, is this the verdict of the jury?
Here it comes.
All right, is it unanimous? Yes. Thank you, sir. Jamie?
It's unanimous.
In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition, quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation?
My heart's pounding.
Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes.
Whoa.
Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes.
Woo.
Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes.
Whoa!
Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Whoa! Malice.
2. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Whoa!
Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone
She's laying
who
a
saw
grumpy
it
in her
other than
pants
Mr.
right
Depp?
now.
Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
It's all yes.
3. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false?
These people stand
Answer,
outside
yes.
all day just to get into
Question,
this
the
courtroom.
statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes.
It
Question,
was.
due to circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
They better start CGIing her out
As
of
against Amber
Aquaman
Heard,
2 now.
we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million.
$10 million.
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million.
$15 million.
In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp.
Oh, here it comes.
1. As to this statement, appearing in the April 8, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media used
She's paying more than double her
allegations
divorce settlement back
as
to him.
both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. 2.
Oh my God.
As to this statement, appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt did not do the trick. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little
This is so
wine and
cathartic
roughed the
to
place
watch.
up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the statement? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven, by clear and convincing evidence, that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Okay.
3. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27th,
They're ruling in her
2020
favor
online
right here.
edition of the Daily Mail, quote, we've reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no.
No. Okay. There we go. No. She did not prove all of them.
John C. Depp II,
Mr. Waldman is Johnny Depp's lawyer.
Compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
Zero.
Does
Zero.
either side wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Jamie?
Members of the jury, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Juror number 6. Yes. Juror number 10.
They're all going to say yes.
Juror number 15.
Yes.
The system, I saw
16.
someone say the system works. It only works if you got enough money.
Juror number 22.
The system only works if you have the money to
number
hire
27.
lawyers and expert witnesses to
Juror
sue
number
somebody.
29.
It only works for rich people.
I do find that the jury's verdict is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service in this case. I want to thank you
These
again
jurors
for your
are about to
dedication
be
and your
on
hard work during this trial. I know I
interviews
speak
tomorrow.
for everybody here.
At least some of them.
When I tell you that we appreciate your sacrifices and your time and
This
your
is a
public
win.
service in this matter.
An
okay?
overall
So I'm going to
win
have you go back
for
to
Johnny
the jury
Depp.
deliberation room for one more time, and then we'll release you from there, okay? All right, thank you.
I just realized I spelled reaction wrong in the title. I need to fix that. I set this up very hastily.
All right. Okay. In accordance with law, I will amend the punitive damages award to the statutory cap of $350,000 on Mr.
Reaction
Depp's
string.
award, okay. I will set this down for entry of an order, And can we do it on June 24th at 10 a.m. if that's available? All right.
Damn,
Mr. Chu,
Amber,
you can prepare
no.
that order and then circulate it to Ms. Bretterhoff, and we can have all the objections noted on it.
There
All right?
might be an appeal too, by the way. I believe she can appeal. So
I'll take it off the docket. Okay. All right. Again, thank you to all the attorneys for your professionalism.
Johnny Depp
and,
didn't even
you're
show
welcome
up
to
for
come to
the
my courtroom
case he
anytime.
won.
Well, give me a few weeks, but then you can
But
come anytime.
I get it.
Okay.
He's
All
touring
right.
with Jeff Beck.
Court is adjourned. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right. That's it. Now I want everyone's opinions on this. Let me know what you think. So Johnny Depp wins, and he's awarded $15 million. Now, whether or not she can pay that, we'll see. Now the ACLU's never getting their money. She's never going to pay that pledge now. Yeah, definitely not. Let me take a look at some of the super chats here, and we'll see if I can... It's fun to be back. I watched the first 650 episodes DP, and then I got a life. Damn, it sucks getting a life. Glad to see you're still going strong, Ben. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. What else do we got? Longtime viewer, and I don't get to catch the show often live. Just want to say I'm a fan of the content. Keep it up. Also, the Hate Amber's team. Okay, we already had that one. I'm not sure which ones I read or... Let's see. Amber is so greedy. Johnny gave her a finger. She wanted the whole hand. Is Billy standing outside the courthouse ready to report after the verdict? No. That's all the way on the other side of the country, too. It would be a while to get over there. I see Noah pledged $5 to Patreon. That's great. Yeah, our Patreon is so important. So if you guys got an extra $5, $10 a month to spend, it would be very helpful to the success of this channel to pledge. It keeps the regular show going, and then on top of that, we offer some extra stuff for people to watch every month. I see a few people signed up. I really appreciate it. I think this is a big thing. Like this is something that needed to happen. It was an injustice that was made right. We shouldn't just assume someone's guilt because of their gender or any other attribute that they have. And we shouldn't assume guilt just based on what the accusations are. Like, we should look at it and look at the evidence instead. Whether the crime is petty theft or it's murder, we should all be looking at it the same way. Everyone can lie. Some are better at it than others. Some do it more easily than others. Some people maybe don't even normally lie a lot, but then for certain things they convince themselves they're justified in doing it. And that's a problem. But honestly, lying is just a component of language. If we're able to speak something that's true, we're equally able to speak something that's untrue. Now I'm wondering, are there going to be perjury charges against Amber Heard? Because she said some things under oath that are verifiably lies. And my thing here is like, what is our justice system worth if you're allowed to lie under oath with no consequences? And it's so clear. Like, it's so crystal clear. Gamma144 says Toronto. I love Toronto. It's one of my favorite cities. Been there multiple times. It's been over 10 years, though. It's been a while.
Billy was on the way to the verdict but got a flat tire.
Oh, is that what happened? Like when he was going to the Onision trial? I would like to pledge $50 million to your Patreon. See you in court. Is that you have to sue me to pledge money? I don't understand. How does that make sense? I don't understand. You ain't got no proof. I mean, it says a lot when the one side has little to no evidence, all they have is an accusation, and then the other side actually has evidence that contradicts the other person's story. We should really look at that. Another thing is when the story keeps changing. That's another weird thing that happened with Amber Heard, and I see it with other cases similar to this. Small correction, she won a single claim and got $2 million. If that's true, then just take $2 million off of the $15 million she owes him. Wonder how much Johnny Depp and Amber Heard spent on their legal fees. An unbelievable amount. Probably a couple million. The court has pledged $15 million to Johnny Depp. They pledged it. Amber spent $6 million. That's so ridiculous. That's why getting sued is no fun in games. When you get sued, you didn't even choose to be there. Ben, have you looked into any of the Marilyn Manson allegations? Yeah, and I think this is it's another similar situation in my opinion. My personal opinion, Marilyn Manson is a more abrasive person. He's not as likable, and he's not as soft-spoken as Johnny Depp, but I think it's a very similar situation, just with totally different people. But we'll see. I guess because I guess there was an actual criminal investigation against Marilyn Manson, and it seems like nothing is coming of it. So I think Manson has filed suit, so we may see another trial very similar to this. We'll take a look. It's weird how it's weird how they're already profiting off the accusation, Manson's accusers. Like they did that documentary about him and all that stuff. I have to question your motives when you're like profiting off of your victimhood or alleged victimhood. But we'll see. I'm not like I haven't seen enough of the concrete evidence like we saw in court here to be sure either way, but it seems very similar. There's a lot of testimony, there's a lot of things that were said prior to the allegations that contradict the allegations. And then there's testimony from from a bunch of women that have previously been in Manson's life that he never did anything remotely abusive to. But we'll see. Now let's focus on getting these kids safe from getting killed in school instead of watching court cases. I mean, the public's focus on it isn't going to change anything. It's really not going to. We're all bound to our government or overlords. They actually control what happens. Sorry, it cut my comment off. I meant to say, Ben, if you like natural history, dinosaurs, ancient Egypt, fossil skeletons, and wet specimens, check out Skull Store in Toronto. Well, I haven't been to Toronto in a very long time, but I will if I ever go there. When I lived in Albuquerque, they had a very nice natural history museum that I used to go to a couple times a year. I don't think YouTubers streaming about school shootings is going to make any changes. That has to happen on the representative level. And since it's a constitutional right, it's even more difficult to really make changes to how guns are handled in the United States. And even if they somehow were just like, okay, we found out a way to ban all guns, there's already so many guns out there that it doesn't matter. Like if there wasn't like a shitload of guns out there, then maybe more restrictive gun ownership laws would be easier and more practical. But it's just going to create another black market, in my opinion. You know, like all the drugs that are illegal in the U.S. that pour over the border, you're going to have like an illegal gun trade pouring across the border. You create a black market, you make the wrong people rich, too. And there's already so many guns in the country floating around. We already have 3D printers. Yeah. The ones that like 3D print plastic, I guess those guns can only fire like 1 or 2 shots before they're like they're not accurate anymore. And then obviously there are metal 3D printers, and there's also like gun assembly kits where you order them in parts, so it's legal. $385,000 viewer Osmongold stream. Yeah, and I had people complaining that I spent a whole episode on this trial saying how boring it is, but it's like I look at the live streams of just the courtroom and they're getting like over 1 million live viewers. I don't think, like, people are very incapable of understanding that something can be interesting when it's not interesting to them personally. It's a really weird thing where like the world should revolve around them and cater to their specific tastes. And if it doesn't, it's actually bad and wrong. And they're unable to step outside of their own opinions and see why other people might be interested in it. The numbers don't lie. Yeah, 4 hours. Yeah, normally our Saturday stream are 4 hours long. So that's what happened. They just wanted to watch more T-Bob and Jared. I mean, there will be more T-Bob and Jared. The funny thing is that I run the show. You don't. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for herd at sacrifice. What is sacrifice? I don't understand what that means. Thanks for the likes and all the super chats and all the fun and excitement. I'm going to hang out for a couple more minutes here. It's the Scott Steiner math promo. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I remember that. That's great. I love Scott Steiner. One of my favorites. And he was known for going off the cuff and saying some crazy stuff. Yeah, I didn't do 4 hours on the whole trial because the whole trial hadn't ended yet, and I had already covered earlier parts of the trial before, so why would I spend 4 hours on the whole trial? Okay, yeah, and I don't regret it, and I'll do whatever I want. Whatever. I do what I want. You know what else Scott Steiner loves? Shoney's. If you've ever heard of Shoney's, he actually owned one. I think it was in Georgia. But unfortunately, COVID forced it to close. And I always wanted to go to Scott Steiner's Big Papa Pump's Shoney's. So overall, this is a victory for actual domestic abuse survivors because we don't have people like Amber Heard muddying the water. And male victims. Johnny Depp is the victim here. It's weird how when someone makes an accusation, everyone automatically just calls them a victim without anything being vetted. They award them the title of victim. And you can't question them or else you're like victim blaming and all that. And we need to get out of this mindset. It's a very dangerous mindset to be in. I feel like most of us knew Johnny Depp was going to win. I mean, at the beginning of this trial, a lot of people were like, Johnny Depp may get, his message out there, but it's unlikely that he'll prove defamation. Most of the legal experts were saying that. So, yeah, the Believe All Women hashtag is a disservice to actual victims. You shouldn't believe someone just because of their gender or any trait that they possess. And that movement, that hashtag, enabled people to do things like we just saw Amber Heard try to do and think that they can get away with it. No, you shouldn't believe all anything. You shouldn't believe all men. You shouldn't believe all women. You shouldn't believe all anyone. Look at each case for its own merits. Forget about your bias. Forget about something that may have happened to you in the past that might, shape your opinion on something. And just look at the evidence. Believe people based on evidence and their own personal credibility. And if you don't actually know a person, your perception of their credibility may be flawed. Save the kids. Listen to anyone. Listen to anyone who's trying to be heard, but don't... Who's trying to be heard. But it's okay to listen, of course. Believe that Egghead will spoil wrestling shows moments after they've happened. I don't... There was no such thing as spoilers when I was younger. I'm gonna sound old right now. Like, you didn't have to care. Like, no one was so entitled that they expected people not to talk about a new movie after it came out. And now we have this weird, like, unwritten internet law that you must never talk about a movie that just came out because there might be someone out there that didn't see it yet. That's fine if that's where we are. I will try not to do that. I don't really watch a lot of movies anyway. I just think it's weird. Like, it's on me. Okay, wrestling. Well, I mean, either way. Wrestling, movies, sporting events, whatever. If you can't see it right when it comes out and you really don't want to know what happened, it's on you to avoid figuring out what happened on it. Don't go on Twitter. Don't go on any social media until you've seen it if it's that important to you. It's not the other person's fault. It's your fault for not avoiding places you know people might be talking about it. That's how I feel. They should CGI Amber Heard out of Aquaman. I mean, it's easier to change your own behavior other than the behavior of everyone else. So if you don't want a movie spoiled for you, instead of expecting everyone else to accommodate your preference, it's easier for you to make the change to avoid seeing the spoilers. Egghead specifically. So Egghead, how could you do this? You horrible, horrible man, you. Horrible, horrible man. Yeah, Honest Red, I'm not surprised you think that's a garbage take because you expect everyone else to accommodate your specific preferences rather than you just avoid. Like, if you don't want something spoiled, you can avoid places where you think there might be spoilers. It's way easier for you to make the effort to avoid it than expect everyone else to know what you want and know what not to talk about when you're around. That's ridiculous. It's about business, Ben. They will use the internet to protect themselves, in my opinion. You give up your data and privacy while they keep theirs, in my opinion. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I think I missed something there. Honest Red switched to Maine. Yeah, he switched from his sock account. Look at Amber Heard's Twitter. She tweeted a response. Really? Well, let's take a look here. This should be interesting. Where is her actual... Yeah, she hadn't tweeted since the trial started. 14 minutes ago. Let's see what this is all about. Wow, she wrote a... Let's see. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. You didn't have... All of the evidence showed you were abusive, and you lied. There was a lot of evidence that you lied. I like how she turned replies off, too. This is great. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. No, you did that. The more cases like this that come out, the less people are inclined to believe these types of accusations overall. You did the disservice, not Johnny Depp. I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech. Defamation is not covered under freedom of speech. Unfortunately, you can only really take someone to court over defamation civilly. So you gotta have a lot of money to pay for it. Ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. What do you mean we? You don't work for the newspaper that Johnny Depp sued in the UK. You even said that that was against the newspaper, not you. This is the suit against you. I'm sad I lost this case, but I'm sadder that I seem to have lost a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly. No, you can. You just can't defame someone and cause them reputational, financial harm. And that's what you did. I see this kind of shit all the time. It's just done to people who don't have Johnny Depp level money to sue people. Yeah, why can't I cry fire in a theater? Yeah, freedom of speech, we do not have absolute freedom of speech. You know? We don't have that here. There are limitations to freedom of speech, and defamation is one of them. Calls for violence is another. Threats are another. And when you're under oath, you don't have freedom to lie. You have freedom to lie when you're not under oath. You can until it becomes defamation, I should say. Yeah, the United States of America was never a free speech absolutist country. In fact, around the founding, there were even more limitations to free speech than what we have now. She looked at it was so weird to me how Johnny Depp's attorney would ask her a question and she would turn and look at the jury and give her answer. That seemed very disingenuous, and I don't know if her legal team told her to do that or if she was just doing it on her own thinking that would look good. But I think she turned off a lot of them. There were a lot of reports of like eye rolling when she said things. 7-person jury unanimously said it was malicious defamation. Johnny Depp. It's a W for Johnny Depp. I think her legal team told her to do that. Hey, Pat, we got Fat Pat in the chat. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. If her legal team told her to do that, they were so wrong because it seemed like she was pandering to them in a very dishonest way. Johnny Depp's testimony seemed very genuine. How long were they in deliberation? I think so. They came back on, so not even 2 days. They went into deliberation on Tuesday, and then they read the verdict today, Wednesday. Aaron Burr didn't like Hamilton's free speech so much that he shot that dude. I mean, Alexander Hamilton. When it comes to paper money in the United States, like the paper bills that we have, Alexander Hamilton is one of the few people on our paper money that wasn't a president, along with Benjamin Franklin, who's on the $100 bill. Everyone else was a president at some point. It's weird how we have Ulysses Grant on the $50 bill, because he's a president you don't hear about a lot. What's Hamilton on? I think it's the 10. Yeah, it's the $10 bill. Because he was Secretary of the Treasury. He was the first ever United States Secretary of the Treasury under George Washington. Let's take a look back at the courtroom here and see.
This moment belongs to the client. So I love the fact that they were short.
Let's see a little more footage here.
And they gave credit to their client. And Stacey,
I think they gave a statement here.
Those charges.
Million viewers on the back of their heads. So I didn't. Some technical difficulties. Okay. We're having some technical difficulties apparently with that clip. So Anjanette, we were just talking about, we expect attorneys from both sides are going to come out, probably make a statement, maybe.
All right.
In civil case number
outside right now.
All right, here is Johnny Depp's legal team. They're going to make a public statement here. It's like they're rock stars.
They are approaching the podium. Ben Chu, Camila Vasquez, the rest.
Yeah, Jefferson is on the $2 bill. So Washington on the 1, Jefferson on the 2, Lincoln on the 5, Hamilton on the 10, Andrew Jackson on the 20, Grant on the 50 and Franklin on the 100.
Hi, everyone. Today's verdict confirms what we have said from the beginning, that the claims against Johnny Depp are defamatory and unsupported by any evidence. We are grateful, so grateful to the jury for their careful deliberation, to the judge and the court staff who have devoted an enormous amount of time and resources towards this case.
Our judicial system is predicated on each person's right to have his or her case heard, and we were
I wonder if they wrote this last night.
Honored to assist Mr. Depp in ensuring
I wonder if
his
they
case
wrote a
was
speech
fairly
for each
considered
verdict.
throughout the trial. We are also most pleased that the trial has resonated for so many people in the public who value truth and justice. Now that the jury has reached its conclusive verdict, it's time to turn the page and look to the future. Thank you all so much, and thanks to the jury.
Thank you so much.
Guys, have you spoken to Johnny? How is he feeling? How's Johnny feeling? Will Johnny and Amber ever speak to each other again?
Listen to these stupid questions. How's Johnny feeling? Will Johnny and Amber ever speak to each other again? That's the best question you could ask. How the fuck would they know? I doubt it, but how, like, can they tell the future?
Well, there you have it. Attorneys for Johnny Depp not taking any
Where's
questions
Amber Heard's
right now.
attorneys
They made
coming
a brief
out?
Statement. They have
Are they going to say anything?
you basically achieved celebrity
I'm going to
status.
mute this and we'll see if Amber Turd's legal team say anything. They're just going to make excuses and act like this is the greatest injustice in the history of the world. Yeah, Amber Heard would have been, Johnny is in the UK touring with Jeff Beck, which is awesome. I wouldn't have been here either. I would have been hanging out with Jeff Beck instead. Weird angle there, cameraman. What? Are we getting a foot shot? That was almost an upskirt shot there. I was getting worried for a minute there.
Who's on the gold dollar though? The Illuminati.
The gold dollar, there's a few different gold dollars. There's Sacagawea. She's the first Native American to be on U.S. currency. Like the first actual Native American person, and not just like an image of someone. Like she's the first like actual person who was Native American on U.S. currency. I don't know. Well, there's also Eisenhower. He's on. So Sacagawea's on the gold dollar coin, and Eisenhower's on the silver dollar coin. And there's a different one too, and I can't remember. There's another one. Yes. Susan B. Anthony was the first woman on U.S. currency, and they made a silver dollar for her, but it was so small and looked so much like a quarter, they stopped making it. And I have even gotten Susan B. Anthony dollars in change, like I paid for something and I got what I thought were quarters back, and there was a Susan B. Anthony dollar in there. Like whoever gave me the change thought it was a quarter. They're like the same size as a quarter, so people would get them mixed up with quarters. When I lived in Northern Ohio, I used to get Canadian currency mixed up in my change all the time, too. That doesn't happen here. Yeah, there's a $2 bill. It's Thomas Jefferson. It has the signing of the Declaration of Independence on the back of it. Yeah, JFK was the $half. Benjamin Franklin is also on the $half. There's a Benjamin Franklin 50-cent piece. I have an old Canadian $2 bill. It's really old. Before they started making the coins, the $2 coins. I was really obsessed with collecting coins and bills and that kind of stuff. Bullion. I got a pence of some country. If it's a pence, it's probably from like England or like some like northwestern European country. Yeah, I used to be like, I had a bunch of collections when I was younger, and coins and old bills. Like I've got this old $1 bill from the 1800s, and it's weird how big they used to be. And I collect, like I've traveled to Europe a couple times and been to a bunch of different countries there. And I'll like, if I go to a country that doesn't use the euro, I'll usually save like a couple coins or like a bill from there. One thing that's really cool that I've seen is that the bills, like in Europe, the bills come in different sizes based on the value. So like the 5 pound note is small, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger based on the value of it. And I was always like, why do they do this? And I realized it's easier for like visually impaired people to count their money because American bills all feel the same. They're all the same size regardless of the value. So, how long have I been doing this? Like an hour and a half. We'll probably wrap it up in a minute here. I was hoping Amber Heard's lawyers would come out and say something. But we're just following this reporter around, talking to people, hanging out. I have some Swiss francs from my trip to Liechtenstein and Switzerland, but they also use francs in Liechtenstein. I went to some like really little countries that you can drive through in like 15 minutes. And Liechtenstein was one of them. Monaco, it's another one. I just want to point out that you guys are great. We haven't even had our second show of the week yet, and we're already at 35% of the goal. I'm really grateful to all you guys that help support the stream and the show. Please sign up for Patreon. It's a new month. If you sign up now, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. Link in the description. Patreon has suffered because the economy's bad for people. So if you guys if you're one of those lucky people that has like $5 a month to spare, and you like our show and you want to maybe get some extra content that we make, because we produce a ton of content just for Patreon, sign up. $5 level gets you 2 private shows. And then you can chat in the cool like live chat that you see on the screen here. That's just for $1 if that's the only perk you want. But there's 3 video perks. There's 2. There's the $5 video perk and the $10. 10 basically gets you all this extra stuff. We did a crazy movie review last night. And the cool thing is, if you sign up, you get all the back content that's up on Patreon too. There's a lot of it. So, in conclusion, I am very happy that Johnny Depp won this case. Like I was saying, I think he won already just because of the way everything looked when the evidence was looked at. She wasn't this innocent angel that was abused by this awful rich, powerful, famous guy, there was actual evidence of her being abusive physically and none from him. And she lied on the stand, and I think there should be repercussions for that. I don't think we should set a standard that it's like, oh yeah, it's technically illegal to lie under oath, but nothing's going to happen, so go ahead and lie under oath. You know, if we can catch her in a verifiable lie, I think she should be prosecuted for it. If we can prove she knowingly lied about something she said on the stand, then she should be prosecuted. We should not set a standard that you can lie under oath in court, in front of a jury, in front of a judge, and then like, oh, it's okay. Like, a law that doesn't get enforced basically doesn't exist. Like, laws where there's no enforcement of said laws might as well not exist. So yeah, because of situations like this, when I see something like this, I do not automatically label the accuser as a victim. I use the word accuser and accused until I form an actual opinion. And sometimes I'm very careful because I don't know enough about it to make an actual judgment call on it. And I could be wrong. I have not, like the Mercedes Carrera thing, that's been going on forever. I don't want to condemn her, but I'm careful to not be like she's innocent because I don't know her. I had her on a few streams. You know, I don't know her. I don't know her character. She seemed cool on, you know, Skype calls during public streams, but I don't know. So I've been waiting forever for that to go to court so we can see what actually happened. It's very weird that she's sat in jail for like 3 years now, and she hasn't even had like the pre-trial. So not every person who's falsely accused and had their reputation ruined has money to take it to court. And that's just the fact of the matter. And we're not going to change the way the court system works and how it favors people who have money. So we as people need to change the way we react to horrible accusations. We shouldn't believe them just based on how horrible they are. And we shouldn't just believe them based on the gender or race or religion or whatever of the accuser. We shouldn't do that. We should reserve judgment when the evidence comes out. If there's no evidence and you believe it and you don't personally know the accuser, then you need to think about why and see maybe you have a bias. I don't believe or disbelieve when I first hear something. I'm neutral. This rush to take a side and condemn someone, I think part of it is people find it entertaining. Like, I think in many ways, getting together and ganging up on someone on the internet is entertaining for people. And when they believe that they're guilty of horrific acts, it justifies horrific behavior. Well, people use it to justify their own horrific behavior because they're like, oh, this person's such a bad person. They deserve me to act horrifically towards them. I wouldn't normally act this horrible, but this justifies me. There's this weird mental gymnastic in their head where they're like, you know, they're awful. They're so awful that I can be equally as awful back to them. It's something we have to like really think about. Yeah, it's an internet witch hunt. I compared internet witch hunts earlier at the beginning of this stream to actual witch hunts, you know, from 150, 200, 300 years ago, whenever it was. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It wasn't 150. It was longer ago. But if you didn't like someone back then when people believed in witchcraft, you could start a rumor that they were a witch. And if you had your way, if you could convince enough people to join you and accuse them of, oh, I saw them worshiping the devil or whatever, you could get the person you didn't like killed. Yeah, we need to, when we see, we have a small group of people watching right now. We're not going to create a huge change, but I at least have you guys here. We shouldn't participate in witch hunts, and we should discourage them when we see them. We don't have to take a side. Being neutral on something that you don't know anything about doesn't mean you're calling someone a liar. Inform yourself, and if there's no way to get enough information to be informed, then don't act on it until you get more information. So yeah, I don't think we're going to hear from Amber Heard's attorneys anytime soon. They're licking their wounds more than likely. I am about to sign off. This was supposed to be a day off for me. Days off for me are not actually off. I'm working on behind the scenes stuff and adult stuff like, you know, paying bills and grocery shopping and that kind of stuff. So I have to get back to that. Yeah, we read her Twitter statement. Oh, do you mean her lawyers had a Twitter statement or Amber's? Because we read Amber's statement. They're being yelled at by Amber right now, more than likely. So, guys, thank you for supporting Drunken Peasants all these years. Thanks for all of the support and everything. My one ask is if you got a couple bucks to spare monthly, sign up for our Patreon because it helps me keep everything going and honestly helps me pay Billy every month, you know, so he can have a good amount of money coming in every month to support himself. So it's really crucial, and that's my only ask. If you see this, take a look at the Patreon. Patreons only exist to support the creator. Like, the perks are just secondary. That's just something we offer on the side, but we work really hard on them. So I will see you coming up tomorrow here on the channel. I hope you have a great Wednesday. Later, everybody.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.